Work smart, not hard, The Science of Effortless Productivity, presented by Boundless Books Audio. Introduction. Welcome to Boundless Books Audio, your go-to source for life-changing audiobooks that empower you to grow, succeed, and transform your mindset. If you're ready to unlock the secrets of effortless productivity, you're in the right place. Today, we bring you Work Smart, Not Hard, The Science of Effortless Productivity, a guide that will revolutionize the way you approach work and success. Get ready to master productivity without burnout, achieve more with less effort, and design a life of efficiency and balance. Let's dive in. Chapter 1, The Myth of Hard Work, Why Working More Isn't the Answer. For years, we've been told that hard work is the key to success. The narrative is simple: work longer hours, grind tirelessly, and sacrifice sleep and personal time, and eventually, success will come knocking. But is this really the truth? The reality is that working more hours does not necessarily mean achieving more. In fact, it often leads to diminishing returns, burnout, and wasted effort. The idea that success is directly proportional to effort is an outdated belief that fails to account for efficiency, strategy, and the importance of working smart rather than just working hard. Take a look at some of the most successful individuals in history: Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Warren Buffett. While they've undoubtedly put in effort, their real advantage comes from how they use their time, not just how much time they spend working. Warren Buffett, for example, attributes much of his success to reading and thinking rather than simply executing tasks non-stop. Similarly, Bezos built Amazon not by working 20-hour days but by making calculated decisions that multiplied his results. The difference between average workers and high achievers is not the number of hours they put in, but how intelligently they use those hours. Science backs this up. Research consistently shows that productivity declines sharply after a certain number of hours. A study by Stanford University found that people who work 55 hours a week are no more productive than those who work 40. Why? Because fatigue, stress, and cognitive overload reduce efficiency. When people work excessively, they make more mistakes, take longer to complete tasks, and ultimately produce lower quality work. The brain is not a machine; it needs rest, creativity, and balance to function optimally. This is why top performers in any field, from athletes to CEOs, prioritize recovery just as much as effort. Working smart means focusing on high-impact activities. Instead of filling your schedule with endless tasks, ask yourself, what actions generate the highest results? What activities move the needle the most? Successful people prioritize tasks that create exponential outcomes rather than spending time on low-value work. They also leverage systems, automation, and delegation to maximize efficiency. When you shift from a mindset of doing more to achieving more with less, you unlock a new level of productivity and success. Another key factor is understanding the role of energy management. Hard workers often focus on managing their time, but smart workers manage their energy. If you've ever felt drained and struggled to focus, you know that time alone isn't the problem, your energy levels are. By optimizing sleep, nutrition, exercise, and mental health, you can accomplish more in 4 focused hours than in 10 distracted ones. This is why the most effective people schedule deep work during peak energy hours and avoid draining, unnecessary tasks. At the end of the day, success is not about burning yourself out in a relentless pursuit of more. It's about working strategically, making intentional choices, and knowing when to push forward and when to step back. The myth of hard work glorifies effort for effort's sake, but the truth is that working smart is the real secret to achieving more with less. Chapter 2, The 80-20 Rule, How to Get More Done with Less Effort. Imagine being able to accomplish twice as much while working half the time. It might sound unrealistic, but this is exactly what the 80-20 rule, also known as the Pareto principle, can help you achieve. This rule states that 80% of results come from just 20% of efforts. In other words, a small portion of your actions generates the majority of your outcomes. If you can identify and focus on these high-impact tasks, you can dramatically increase your productivity without adding extra work. Instead of blindly working harder, the key is to work smarter by focusing on what truly moves the needle. The 80-20 rule applies to nearly every area of life and business. In sales, 80% of revenue often comes from 20% of customers. In relationships, 80% of fulfillment usually comes from 20% of the people you interact with. In personal productivity, 80% of the progress you make likely stems from 20% of the actions you take. Yet, most people make the mistake of treating all tasks equally, wasting time on things that don't contribute much to their success. The difference between high achievers and those who struggle is that successful people know how to identify and prioritize the 20% that matters most. Applying the 80-20 principle starts with analyzing your tasks and results. Look at your daily work and ask yourself, what few activities drive the biggest results? What tasks generate the most value? What actions contribute little to no progress? Once you identify your most effective efforts, you can eliminate or delegate the rest. For example, if you're an entrepreneur, you might realize that only a small percentage of marketing strategies bring in most of your customers. Instead of spreading yourself thin across multiple strategies, you can double down on what works and cut out the distractions. Another way to use the 80-20 rule is in time management. Most people spend their days reacting to emails, attending meetings, and completing low-impact tasks that keep them busy but not productive. Instead of letting your day be dictated by unimportant activities, schedule your time around your most valuable work. If you spend your peak energy hours focusing on high-impact tasks, you'll accomplish far more than someone working twice as long on trivial things. This approach not only increases efficiency but also reduces stress and burnout. The beauty of the 80-20 rule is that it can be applied continuously. Once you've optimized your tasks, you can take it a step further by identifying the 20% within the 20%, the absolute highest impact activities that create extraordinary results. This is where exponential growth happens. The goal is not to work more but to focus more on what truly matters. By adopting this mindset, you'll find that success is not about effort alone but about strategic effort. If you can master the 80-20 rule, you'll unlock the secret to achieving more with less, making success feel almost effortless. Chapter 3: The Power of Leverage, Making Your Effort Work for You. Leverage is the ultimate secret weapon of high achievers. It is the ability to multiply your results without multiplying your effort. While most people believe that success comes from working harder, the truly successful understand that success comes from working smarter, by using tools, systems, people, and strategies that amplify their effort. Imagine trying to lift a massive rock with just your bare hands. No matter how strong you are, it's nearly impossible. But if you use a lever, suddenly, that same rock becomes effortless to move. This principle applies to every area of life, from business and finance to personal growth and productivity. The difference between those who struggle and those who succeed isn't effort, it's leverage. One of the most powerful forms of leverage is time leverage. The average person trades time for money, working a set number of hours to earn a paycheck. But the most successful individuals find ways to detach their income from their time. They build businesses, invest in assets, or create systems that generate income without constant effort. Think about an author who writes a book once but earns royalties for years, or an investor who puts money into stocks that grow while they sleep. This is the power of time leverage, getting results even when you're not actively working. Instead of relying solely on their own labor, the wealthy build systems that work for them. Another key type of leverage is people leverage. No one succeeds alone. The most successful individuals understand the value of building teams, outsourcing tasks, and surrounding themselves with capable people. Entrepreneurs like Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos don't personally assemble cars or package deliveries, they lead teams who execute their vision. The greatest leaders focus on what they do best and delegate the rest. Whether it's hiring employees, using virtual assistants, or forming partnerships, leveraging other people's time, skills, and expertise is a game changer. Trying to do everything yourself is a guaranteed way to limit your potential. Then there's technology leverage. In today's world, automation and digital tools can handle tasks that once took hours in just minutes. Businesses use software to automate marketing, scheduling, and customer service, freeing up time for high-value work. Social media allows individuals to reach millions with a single post, creating an impact that would have required enormous effort in the past. Those who master technology leverage can scale their efforts exponentially, while those who resist it get left behind. Finally, there's knowledge leverage. Learning from other people's experiences allows you to skip years of trial and error. Reading books, taking courses, and finding mentors accelerates success because you benefit from the hard-earned wisdom of others. Instead of figuring everything out alone, leverage existing knowledge to make better decisions faster. This is why the most successful people are lifelong learners. They don't rely on luck or brute force, they leverage insights, frameworks, and strategies that have already been proven to work. The key takeaway? Stop thinking in terms of effort alone and start thinking in terms of leverage. The most successful people don't just work hard, they make sure their work has the highest possible impact. Whether it's time, people, technology, or knowledge, mastering leverage is the difference between struggling and thriving. Work smarter, not harder, and watch your results multiply. Chapter 4: The Science of Deep Work: How to Stay Focused and Eliminate Distractions. In a world filled with endless notifications, social media feeds, and constant demands for attention, the ability to focus deeply has become a rare skill. Yet, it is one of the most powerful advantages you can develop. The concept of deep work, coined by author and professor Cal Newport, refers to the ability to focus intensely on cognitively demanding tasks without distractions. Unlike shallow work, such as answering emails, scrolling through social media, or attending unnecessary meetings, deep work allows you to produce high-quality results in a fraction of the time. Those who master this skill achieve more in a few focused hours than most people do in an entire day of multitasking. The science behind deep work is compelling. Studies show that the human brain takes an average of 23 minutes to refocus after being distracted. This means that every time you check your phone or switch tasks, you are wasting valuable mental energy. Additionally, frequent distractions weaken the brain's ability to sustain focus over time, making it harder to engage in meaningful work. This is why many people feel mentally drained even after a long day of working but have little to show for it. Their attention has been fragmented, preventing them from entering a state of deep concentration where real progress happens. So, how do you cultivate deep work and eliminate distractions? The first step is to create a distraction-free environment. This means turning off notifications, setting your phone to do not disturb, and working in a quiet space. Many successful individuals, from best-selling authors to top executives, use dedicated workspaces where distractions are minimized. Some even go as far as using website blockers to prevent mindless browsing during work sessions. The goal is to remove anything that tempts your brain to switch tasks. Another key strategy is time blocking. Instead of relying on willpower, schedule specific blocks of time for deep work. Research suggests that working in 90-minute intervals, followed by short breaks, optimizes focus and productivity. This approach aligns with the brain's natural ultradian rhythms, allowing you to work at peak efficiency without mental fatigue. During these sessions, commit fully to your task. No checking messages, no quick internet searches, no multitasking. The deeper your concentration, the more powerful your results. Training your brain for deep work also requires building focus like a muscle. Just as physical strength increases with consistent training, your ability to concentrate improves with practice. Meditation, mindfulness, and even simple breathing exercises can strengthen your attention span over time. Additionally, reducing unnecessary stimuli, such as background noise, excessive screen time, and information overload, helps the brain sustain focus for longer periods. ultimately, mastering deep work is about taking control of your attention. The modern world is designed to pull you in multiple directions, but true success comes from the ability to resist distractions and focus on what truly matters. When you develop the discipline of deep work, you unlock a level of productivity that sets you apart from the majority. It's not about working harder, it's about working smarter. With intense focus and clarity, Chapter 5, Energy Management over Time Management. For years, people have been obsessed with time management, organizing schedules, blocking out hours, and maximizing productivity within a set number of minutes. But time, no matter how well managed, is a finite resource. You can't create more hours in the day. What you can control, however, is your energy. And the truth is, energy, not time, is the ultimate factor that determines how much you get done and how well you perform. Successful people don't just manage their calendars, they manage their calendars, they manage their energy levels to maximize efficiency, creativity, and output. Think about it. Have you ever had a day where, despite having plenty of time, you couldn't focus, felt sluggish, or struggled to complete even simple tasks? On the other hand, there are days when you accomplish more in 2 hours than in an entire 8-hour shift. The difference isn't time, it's energy. When your energy levels are high, your brain works faster, your decision-making is sharper, and your motivation is stronger. This is why energy management is far more important than just trying to squeeze more hours into your schedule. Science supports this idea. Studies show that our brains operate in cycles, with peak energy periods followed by natural dips in focus and alertness. This is known as the ultradian rhythm, which suggests that we have 90-minute cycles of high focus, followed by a necessary period of rest. Yet most people push through fatigue, thinking that working longer equals working better. In reality, working past your peak energy phases leads to lower efficiency, increased stress, and a higher likelihood of making mistakes. The most effective individuals recognize this and structure their work around their natural energy rhythms instead of forcing themselves into rigid time schedules. So how can you shift from time management to energy management? First, identify your peak performance windows. Some people function best in the early morning, while others hit their stride in the afternoon or evening. Schedule your most demanding tasks, deep work, creative projects, or decision-making, during these peak energy periods. Save less critical tasks, like emails or administrative work, for low-energy times. This way, you're aligning your work with your natural productivity cycles rather than fighting against them. Another key element is recovery. Just like athletes incorporate rest days to enhance performance, high achievers know that breaks are not a waste of time, they are a tool for sustained energy. Short breaks, movement, deep breathing, and even brief moments of mindfulness can reset your energy and prevent burnout. Instead of working in long, exhausting stretches, focus on working in sprints, intense, focused work sessions followed by renewal periods. Lastly, prioritize habits that fuel long-term energy, quality sleep, proper nutrition, hydration, and regular exercise. You wouldn't expect a car to run efficiently on an empty tank, so why do we expect our bodies and minds to function without the right fuel? By shifting from managing time to managing energy, you can achieve more in less time while avoiding exhaustion. It's not about working harder, it's about working smarter, with sustained energy and peak performance. Chapter 6, The Art of Prioritization, Doing What Truly Matters. In a world filled with endless tasks, distractions, and responsibilities, knowing what to prioritize is the key to success. Many people confuse being busy with being productive, filling their days with activities that feel important but contribute little to meaningful progress. True success comes not from doing everything but from doing the right things. The art of prioritization is about focusing on what truly moves the needle in your life, career, and personal growth while eliminating or delegating the rest. It's about mastering the ability to say no to the unimportant so you can say yes to what truly matters. Another key element is recovery. Just like athletes incorporate rest days to enhance performance, high achievers know that breaks are not a waste of time, they are a tool for sustained energy. Short breaks, movement, deep breathing, and even brief moments of mindfulness can reset your energy and prevent burnout. Instead of working in long, exhausting stretches, focus on working in sprints, intense, focused work sessions followed by renewal periods. Lastly, prioritize habits that fuel long-term energy, quality sleep, proper nutrition, hydration, and regular exercise. You wouldn't expect a car to run efficiently on an empty tank, so why do we expect our bodies and minds to function without the right fuel? By shifting from managing time to managing energy, you can achieve more in less time while avoiding exhaustion. It's not about working harder, it's about working smarter, with sustained energy and peak performance. Chapter 6, The Art of Prioritization, Doing What Truly Matters. In a world filled with endless tasks, distractions, and responsibilities, knowing what to prioritize is the key to success. Many people confuse being busy with being productive, filling their days with activities that feel important but contribute little to meaningful progress. True success comes not from doing everything but from doing the right things. The art of prioritization is about focusing on what truly moves the needle in your life, career, and personal growth while eliminating or delegating the rest. It's about mastering the ability to say no to the unimportant so you can say yes to what truly matters. One of the biggest barriers to prioritization is the myth that everything is equally important. It's not. Some tasks create massive impact, while others are simply busywork disguised as productivity. Take control of your priorities by defining clear goals. Every day, ask yourself, what is the single most important thing I need to accomplish today to move closer to my goals? When you develop the habit of focusing on high-impact tasks, you create a life of purpose, not just busyness. At its core, the art of prioritization is about working smarter, not harder. When you master it, you stop feeling overwhelmed and start making intentional progress. It's not about doing more, it's about doing what matters most. Chapter 7, The Science of Habits, Building a System for Effortless Productivity. Productivity isn't about willpower. It's about systems. The most successful people in the world don't rely on motivation to get things done, they rely on habits. Habits are the invisible force shaping our lives, determining how productive, focused, and successful we become. The key to effortless productivity isn't working harder or pushing through exhaustion, it's designing a system of habits that automate success. When you master the science of habits, productivity stops being a struggle, it becomes second nature. The brain is wired for efficiency. Every time you perform an action repeatedly, your brain strengthens neural pathways that make that action easier and more automatic. This is why brushing your teeth or tying your shoes requires no effort. You've done it so many times that your brain executes the task without conscious thought. The same principle applies to productivity. When you develop habits that prioritize focus, efficiency, and progress, you eliminate the need for constant discipline and decision-making. Instead of forcing yourself to work, you naturally flow into productive actions. James Clear, in Atomic Habits, emphasizes the power of small changes. A 1% improvement in your habits each day might seem insignificant, but over time, it compounds into massive transformation. The key is to focus on identity-based habits, shaping habits that align with the kind of person you want to become. If you want to be a productive person, instead of saying, "I need to be more organized," start with, "I am the kind of person who plans my day the night before." Small, intentional habits like this rewire your identity and make productivity effortless. The most effective way to build strong habits is through a cue routine reward system. Every habit starts with a cue, a trigger that initiates the habit, followed by a routine, the habit itself, and ends with a reward, the benefit your brain associates with the habit. For example, if you want to build a habit of deep work, you can set up a cue like playing instrumental music, a routine like blocking distractions and focusing for 90 minutes, and a reward like taking a short walk after completion. Over time, this system turns focus into a reflex rather than a struggle, another powerful strategy is habit stacking, linking new habits to existing ones. If you already drink coffee every morning, stack a productive habit onto it, like reviewing your daily goals while sipping your coffee. This makes new habits easier to adopt because they become part of an existing routine. The fewer decisions you have to make, the more effortless your productivity becomes. Lastly, tracking habits reinforces consistency. What gets measured gets managed. Using a simple habit tracker or journaling your progress helps reinforce behavior patterns. It's not about perfection, it's about consistency. Even if you miss a day, never miss twice. A strong habit system isn't about working harder, it's about setting up an environment where success happens naturally. Productivity doesn't have to be forced. When you master the science of habits, productivity becomes effortless, and success follows as a natural consequence. Chapter 8, Automation and Delegation, Working Less and Achieving More. One of the biggest misconceptions about success is that you have to do everything yourself. Many people fall into the trap of believing that working harder means handling every task personally, but this mindset leads to burnout and inefficiency. The most successful individuals and businesses thrive not because they work harder but because they work smarter, through automation and delegation. When you master these two strategies, you can drastically reduce your workload while increasing your productivity and impact. The key to achieving more isn't doing everything, it's focusing on what truly matters and letting technology and others handle the rest. Automation is one of the most powerful tools available today. In an age of advanced technology, countless tasks that once required manual effort can now be automated, freeing up time for more meaningful work. From email marketing to customer service, project management to financial tracking, automation allows you to streamline repetitive processes. Tools like Zapier, Asana, and AI-driven chatbots can handle routine tasks with minimal input from you. For example, instead of manually responding to every customer inquiry, an automated email sequence can provide instant responses, improving efficiency without sacrificing quality. Entrepreneurs who embrace automation find that they can get more done in less time, allowing them to focus on strategy, creativity, and high-impact decision-making. Delegation is another essential ingredient in working less while achieving more. No matter how skilled or knowledgeable you are, your time is limited. The most effective leaders understand that their greatest asset isn't just their own talent but the ability to leverage the strengths of others. By hiring, outsourcing, or collaborating with others, you can multiply your productivity. Delegation isn't about handing off tasks blindly, it's about identifying what you do best and outsourcing the rest to people who can do it better, faster, or more efficiently. Whether it's hiring a virtual assistant to manage administrative work, an accountant to handle finances, or a marketing team to grow your brand, delegation allows you to focus on high-value tasks that truly move the needle. The biggest obstacle to automation and delegation is often mindset. Many people resist these strategies because they feel they must maintain control over every detail. They believe no one else can do the job as well as they can, or they fear that automation will reduce quality. But the truth is, trying to do everything yourself limits your growth. The most successful people in the world don't spend their days on mundane tasks, they invest their time in vision, leadership, and innovation. Learning to let go of control and trust the right systems and people is what separates those who merely work hard from those who achieve greatness. By automating routine processes and delegating tasks that others can handle, you unlock your true potential. You free yourself from busy work and gain the time and energy to focus on creativity, strategy, and innovation. Working less doesn't mean being lazy, it means being smart enough to build systems that work for you. The goal is not to stay busy but to be productive. And automation and delegation are the ultimate tools for achieving more with less effort. Chapter 9, Strategic Breaks, Why Rest is a Productivity Superpower. In a world that glorifies hustle culture, taking breaks is often seen as laziness or a sign of weakness. Many people believe that the harder and longer they work, the more successful they'll be. But science, and the habits of the world's most successful individuals, prove the opposite. Rest is not the enemy of productivity, it's the secret weapon that amplifies it. Strategic breaks, when used correctly, don't slow you down. They recharge your mind, boost creativity, and enhance focus, allowing you to get more done in less time. The truth is, rest isn't a distraction from success, it's an essential part of it. The human brain isn't designed to function at peak efficiency for long, uninterrupted periods. Studies have shown that after about 90 minutes of deep focus, cognitive function begins to decline. This is due to the brain's natural ultradian rhythm, which cycles between high and low energy states. When we ignore these natural cycles and push ourselves to work for hours without rest, our ability to concentrate, make decisions, and produce high-quality work deteriorates. Instead of powering through exhaustion, high achievers structure their work around these rhythms, taking intentional breaks to maintain peak performance. Consider some of the most productive and successful people in history. Albert Einstein famously took long walks to let his mind wander, often leading to groundbreaking insights. Bill Gates regularly schedules think weeks where he disconnects from work entirely to generate fresh ideas. Even elite athletes, who push their bodies to the limit, understand that recovery is just as crucial as training. The lesson is clear: pushing endlessly without rest leads to burnout, while strategic breaks enhance both performance and creativity, but not all breaks are created equal. Mindless scrolling through social media or binge-watching TV doesn't offer the same benefits as intentional, restorative pauses. The most effective breaks involve stepping away from screens, engaging in physical movement, practicing mindfulness, or simply allowing your mind to wander. A short walk, deep breathing exercises, or even a 5-minute meditation can reset your focus and restore mental clarity. By stepping away from work, you're not wasting time, you're preparing yourself to return with renewed energy and sharper focus. Another powerful technique is the Pomodoro method, where you work in 25 to 50-minute sprints followed by short breaks. This method harnesses the brain's natural concentration cycle, ensuring you work efficiently while preventing burnout. Similarly, the 80-20 rule suggests that 80% of results come from 20% of efforts, meaning that focusing on high-impact tasks and taking breaks between them is far more effective than grinding non-stop. The modern workplace often equates long hours with dedication, but the smartest workers know that rest is a force multiplier. Strategic breaks are not about slacking off, they are about optimizing performance. The next time you find yourself exhausted, overwhelmed, or unable to focus, don't power through. Step away, recharge, and return stronger. Success isn't about how many hours you put in, it's about how effectively you use those hours. And sometimes, the best way to work harder is to rest smarter. Chapter 10, Beating Procrastination, the key to consistent progress. Procrastination is the silent killer of dreams. It creeps in unnoticed, disguising itself as harmless delays, but over time, it erodes progress, steals opportunities, and keeps us trapped in a cycle of frustration. We tell ourselves, "I'll start tomorrow, I just need to feel motivated," or "I work better under pressure." But the harsh reality is that procrastination doesn't just slow us down, it stops us entirely. If you want to achieve real success, you must master the art of overcoming procrastination and taking consistent action, regardless of how you feel in the moment. One of the biggest reasons people procrastinate is because they feel overwhelmed. When a task seems too big or too difficult, the brain instinctively looks for ways to avoid it. Instead of tackling the problem head-on, we distract ourselves with social media, unnecessary chores, or mindless entertainment. The key to breaking this cycle is to break big tasks into smaller, more manageable steps. Instead of telling yourself, "I need to write a book," say, "I'll write 1 page today." Instead of thinking, "I need to get in shape," start with, "I'll do 10 minutes of exercise." By making tasks seem less intimidating, you trick your brain into action, and once you start, momentum takes over. Another major cause of procrastination is perfectionism. Many people delay taking action because they fear making mistakes or not doing something perfectly. But perfectionism is just a fancy word for fear. The truth is, nothing will ever be perfect on the first try. The most successful people in the world are not those who avoid failure, but those who start before they feel ready, learn from their mistakes, and keep improving. If you wait for the perfect moment or the perfect plan, you'll never take action. Instead, adopt the mindset that progress matters more than perfection. Done is always better than perfect. To beat procrastination, you must also master self-discipline. Waiting for motivation is a losing game because motivation is fleeting, it comes and goes. What truly drives success is discipline, the ability to take action even when you don't feel like it. One powerful trick is the 2-minute rule. If a task feels overwhelming, commit to just 2 minutes of work. Tell yourself, I'll just write for 2 minutes, or I'll just do 2 minutes of exercise. More often than not, those 2 minutes turn into longer sessions because starting is the hardest part. Once you begin, the resistance fades. Finally, set clear deadlines and create accountability. When you work without deadlines, tasks stretch indefinitely. But when you have a clear, non-negotiable deadline, your mind shifts into action mode. Holding yourself accountable by telling someone about your goals, joining a group, or setting up rewards and consequences can also keep you on track. Procrastination is not about laziness, it's about habits, mindset, and fear. By breaking tasks into smaller steps, letting go of perfectionism, building discipline, and creating accountability, you can overcome procrastination and make consistent progress toward your goals. Success isn't built on occasional bursts of effort, it's built on daily, disciplined action. Chapter 11, Mental Clarity and Decision Fatigue. Simplifying your choices. Every day, we make thousands of decisions: what to eat, what to wear, which emails to respond to, how to tackle work tasks, and even small choices like whether to scroll through social media or stay focused. While each decision may seem insignificant on its own, the cumulative effect is massive. This is where decision fatigue comes in. The more choices we make throughout the day, the more our ability to make good decisions deteriorates. This is why some of the world's most successful individuals, from Steve Jobs to Barack Obama, simplified their daily choices by wearing the same outfit every day or creating structured routines. The secret to preserving mental clarity lies in reducing unnecessary decisions and focusing energy on what truly matters. Decision fatigue is a psychological phenomenon where the quality of decisions declines after an extended period of decision-making. When you start your day, your brain is fresh, and you can think clearly. However, as the day progresses, each choice, no matter how small, slowly drains your mental energy. This is why people often make impulsive purchases in the evening, skip workouts after a long day, or default to unhealthy foods for dinner. Their willpower is depleted, not because they lack discipline, but because their brain has been overworked. The key to overcoming decision fatigue is to eliminate trivial choices and reserve mental energy for high-impact decisions. One of the simplest ways to reduce decision fatigue is to create daily routines and systems. When you follow a structured routine, you remove the burden of constantly deciding what to do next. For example, planning your meals for the week, laying out your clothes the night before, or using time-blocking techniques for work can free up valuable mental bandwidth. This is why highly productive people automate as much as possible. They don't waste time debating minor details, they set clear systems and stick to them. The fewer decisions you have to make about mundane tasks, the more energy you have to focus on the choices that truly matter. Another powerful strategy is prioritization. Not all decisions carry equal weight. By identifying the most important choices and addressing them first, you ensure that your best energy is allocated to high-stakes matters. This is why successful entrepreneurs and leaders schedule their hardest or most creative tasks in the morning when their cognitive resources are at their peak. They don't leave big decisions for the end of the day when their mental clarity is compromised. They structure their workflow so that the most critical thinking happens when they are at their sharpest. Additionally, minimizing distractions plays a crucial role in mental clarity. Each distraction, whether it's a notification, an unnecessary meeting, or an unimportant email, forces your brain to make micro-decisions. Should I check my phone? Should I respond now or later? These tiny choices add up and contribute to mental exhaustion. By reducing digital noise, setting boundaries, and decluttering your environment, you create a mental space where deep focus thrives. Ultimately, simplifying your choices isn't about limiting freedom, it's about optimizing your energy for what truly matters. By eliminating unnecessary decisions, automating routines, and prioritizing effectively, you clear mental clutter and make space for sharper, more intentional thinking. Chapter 12, The Role of Motivation, How to Stay Inspired Without Forcing It. Motivation is often misunderstood. Many believe it's something you either have or don't have, a fleeting feeling that comes and goes unpredictably. But the truth is, motivation is not a spark that appears out of nowhere, it's something you can cultivate and sustain without forcing it. Relying on sheer willpower to push through tasks is a losing game because willpower is a limited resource. Instead, real, lasting motivation comes from creating an environment, habits, and mindset that naturally inspire action. If you've ever struggled to stay motivated, it's not because you lack discipline, it's because motivation is being approached the wrong way. One of the biggest myths about motivation is that it must come before action. People wait until they feel motivated before they start something, but this is completely backward. In reality, action creates motivation. Have you ever noticed how starting a task, even when you don't feel like it, leads to momentum? Psychologists call this the progress principle, the idea that making even small progress fuels further motivation. Instead of waiting for inspiration to strike, take the first small step. Once you begin, your brain sees progress, and that sense of accomplishment fuels more effort. The secret to motivation is to stop waiting and start moving. Another powerful way to stay motivated without forcing it is to connect your tasks to a deeper purpose. If you're working towards something purely for external reasons, like money, recognition, or approval, it's easy to burn out when obstacles arise. However, when your work aligns with your internal values and long-term goals, motivation becomes effortless. This is why people who are passionate about their craft don't constantly struggle to stay inspired, their drive comes from a deeper place. Take some time to reflect on why you're doing what you're doing. Ask yourself, how does this contribute to my bigger vision? When you have a clear sense of purpose, motivation stops being a struggle and becomes a natural byproduct of your ambition. Your environment also plays a crucial role in motivation. If you surround yourself with distractions, negativity, and uninspiring influences, staying motivated will feel like an uphill battle. But if you create an environment that encourages progress, whether it's by setting up a distraction-free workspace, surrounding yourself with ambitious people, or consuming inspiring content, you naturally stay in a state of motivation. Just like a plant thrives in the right conditions, your motivation flourishes in an environment designed for growth. Finally, one of the most overlooked aspects of motivation is self-compassion. Many people believe that being hard on themselves will keep them motivated, but the opposite is true. Studies show that people who practice self-compassion, who forgive themselves for mistakes and focus on improvement rather than self-criticism, are more motivated and resilient in the long run. Instead of beating yourself up when you feel unmotivated, recognize that it's normal, and focus on small, consistent actions to regain momentum. In the end, motivation isn't about force, it's about alignment. When your actions, goals, and environment are in sync, motivation flows naturally. The key is not to chase it but to create the right conditions for it to thrive. Chapter 13, The Importance of Saying No, Protecting Your Time and Energy. One of the most powerful yet underrated skills in life is the ability to say no. Many people struggle with it, fearing rejection, guilt, or missed opportunities. But in reality, saying no is not about pushing people away, it's about protecting your most valuable resources, time and energy. Every time you say yes to something unimportant, you're saying no to something that truly matters. This is why the most successful and fulfilled individuals are not the ones who take on everything but the ones who master the art of selective commitment. They understand that their energy is limited and that focusing on the right things is the key to growth and success. In today's fast-paced world, we are constantly bombarded with demands, work obligations, social invitations, endless notifications, and requests from others. It's easy to fall into the trap of overcommitment, stretching ourselves thin and leaving little room for what truly matters. The problem is that when you say yes to too much, you end up with a schedule filled with tasks that don't align with your goals. You become exhausted, unmotivated, and disconnected from your true priorities. This is why saying no is not an act of selfishness, it's an act of self-respect. It means valuing your time and energy enough to use them wisely. Think about highly successful individuals. They don't attend every meeting, accept every opportunity, or entertain every distraction. Instead, they say no to anything that doesn't align with their vision. Warren Buffett famously said, "The difference between successful people and really successful people is that really successful people say no to almost everything." This principle applies not just to business but to all areas of life. Whether it's declining a project that doesn't excite you, avoiding toxic relationships, or setting clear boundaries with your time, learning to say no empowers you to take control of your life. One of the most effective ways to start saying no is by shifting your mindset. Many people feel obligated to say yes because they don't want to disappoint others. But the truth is, every time you say yes to something you don't truly want, you are disappointing yourself. Instead of feeling guilty, remind yourself that saying no to one thing means saying yes to something better: your health, your goals, your peace of mind. You don't need to justify or over-explain. A simple "I can't commit to that right now" or "that doesn't align with my priorities" is enough. The more you practice, the easier it becomes. Setting boundaries is essential to maintaining balance. Without them, others will dictate how you spend your time. You must be intentional about where your energy goes. By saying no to distractions, meaningless obligations, and energy-draining situations, you create space for what truly matters, whether it's personal growth, meaningful relationships, or deep work. In the end, saying no is not just about rejecting things, it's about choosing the life you truly want. Master this skill, and you'll find yourself with more clarity, focus, and fulfillment than ever before. Chapter 14: The Power of Reflection, Learning and Adapting for Continuous Growth. In the fast-paced world we live in, we are often told to keep moving forward, chase the next goal, and never look back. However, true growth comes not just from action but from reflection. The most successful people, entrepreneurs, athletes, and world leaders, attribute their progress not only to hard work but also to their ability to pause, analyze, and adapt. Reflection is the bridge between experience and wisdom. It transforms our mistakes into lessons, our successes into strategies, and our failures into stepping stones for growth. Without it, we risk making the same errors repeatedly, missing valuable insights, and ultimately stagnating in our journey. One of the greatest advantages of reflection is self-awareness. It allows us to recognize patterns in our behavior, identify what is working, and understand what needs to change. Instead of blindly repeating habits, we develop the ability to refine our approach, making adjustments that lead to greater success. Consider some of the most accomplished figures in history, leaders like Steve Jobs or thinkers like Marcus Aurelius, who used reflection as a tool for growth. Jobs was known for stepping back to reassess Apple's direction, ensuring the company stayed innovative. Aurelius, a Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, wrote his reflections in what became Meditations, a timeless guide to self-improvement. Their ability to evaluate their actions, thoughts, and strategies allowed them to reach extraordinary heights. Reflection is not just about looking back, it's about learning forward. When we review our experiences, we gain clarity on how to improve. A business owner analyzing past sales can refine their marketing strategy. An athlete reviewing game footage can adjust their technique. A student revisiting past mistakes can enhance their study methods. Without reflection, we operate on autopilot, missing opportunities for refinement. But when we make it a habit to analyze our progress, we continuously sharpen our skills, mindset, and decision-making abilities. Moreover, reflection enhances adaptability. The world is constantly evolving, and those who can assess their actions and pivot accordingly thrive. Companies that fail to reflect on market trends become obsolete, while those that analyze and adapt remain industry leaders. On a personal level, individuals who embrace reflection stay resilient in the face of change. Instead of being stuck in outdated thinking, they welcome new perspectives and shift their approach when necessary. This ability to learn and adapt is what separates stagnant individuals from those who achieve long-term success. Making reflection a daily practice doesn't have to be complicated. It can be as simple as journaling thoughts, asking yourself key questions before bed, or having honest discussions about your progress. The key is consistency. Just like exercise strengthens the body, regular reflection strengthens the mind. The more we reflect, the more we grow. We start seeing setbacks as lessons, obstacles as opportunities, and experiences as stepping stones. Continuous improvement is not about working harder, it's about learning smarter. Those who master the art of reflection unlock the power of self-mastery, ensuring they are always evolving into the best version of themselves. Chapter 15, The Science of Flow, Getting in the Zone for Peak Performance. Have you ever been so immersed in a task that time seemed to vanish? Where every action felt effortless, ideas flowed seamlessly, and distractions faded into the background? This state of deep focus and peak productivity is called flow, a concept pioneered by psychologist Mihai Csikszentmihalyi. Flow is the key to achieving elite performance in any field, whether in business, sports, music, or creative work. When you enter this state, you unlock a level of efficiency and mastery that far surpasses ordinary effort. But flow is not random. It's a science-backed phenomenon with clear triggers, and once you understand how to harness it, you can dramatically improve your output while enjoying the process. Flow occurs when there is a perfect balance between challenge and skill. If a task is too easy, boredom creeps in, and if it's too difficult, frustration takes over. But when a challenge is just beyond your comfort zone, demanding enough to engage you but not so overwhelming that it creates anxiety, you naturally slip into flow. This is why elite athletes, artists, and entrepreneurs seek out challenges that push their limits without breaking them. The key is progressive difficulty, where each task stretches your abilities slightly beyond their current state, keeping you fully engaged. One of the most important aspects of flow is eliminating distractions. Studies show that it takes an average of 23 minutes to regain focus after an interruption. Every notification, email, or background noise pulls your brain away from deep work, making it harder to enter the flow state. To counter this, high performers create distraction-free environments, use noise-canceling headphones, or schedule deep work sessions where they focus intensely for extended periods. Time blocking, a technique where you dedicate specific blocks of time to deep work without interruptions, is one of the most effective ways to trigger flow regularly. Another crucial element of flow is clear goals and immediate feedback. Your brain thrives on knowing exactly what it's aiming for and receiving quick feedback on progress. This is why video games are so addictive. They provide a clear objective and instant feedback after every action. You can apply this to your work by setting micro goals, tracking your progress, and adjusting based on real-time feedback. This keeps your mind fully engaged and prevents mental fatigue. Physiology also plays a significant role in achieving flow. Your brain releases dopamine, norepinephrine, and endorphins when you're in the zone, creating a state of heightened focus and euphoria. You can stimulate this response by starting with a small win, a simple task that gives you a sense of progress and builds momentum. Additionally, breathing techniques, meditation, and movement can help prime your brain for deep focus. Many high achievers, from Steve Jobs to elite athletes, have used mindfulness and visualization to enter flow more consistently. Ultimately, mastering the science of flow allows you to work smarter, not harder. It transforms effort into effortless action, replacing struggle with joy and frustration with fulfillment. The more you practice entering flow, the more it becomes a natural part of your life, leading to peak performance, faster learning, and greater overall success. Chapter 16, Sustainable Productivity, Avoiding Burnout While Achieving More. Productivity isn't just about getting things done, it's about sustaining progress over the long term without sacrificing your health, happiness, or peace of mind. Too often, people push themselves to the limit, believing that non-stop hustle is the only way to succeed. But this approach leads to burnout, decreased motivation, and ultimately, lower performance. True success isn't about working until exhaustion, it's about maintaining consistent, high-quality output over time. The key is sustainable productivity, a smarter, more balanced approach that allows you to achieve more while preserving your well-being. Burnout happens when you operate at full capacity for too long without proper recovery. It's not just a result of long hours, it's caused by chronic stress, emotional exhaustion, and a lack of fulfillment. People who experience burnout often feel drained, disengaged, and unmotivated. They struggle to concentrate, lose passion for their work, and even suffer from physical symptoms like headaches, insomnia, or weakened immunity. The problem isn't that they lack discipline, it's that they haven't structured their productivity in a way that is sustainable. One of the most effective ways to prevent burnout is to prioritize rest as much as work. High achievers understand that recovery is a non-negotiable part of peak performance. Just like elite athletes build rest days into their training schedules, top professionals incorporate downtime into their routines. Studies show that regular breaks, quality sleep, and time away from work enhance creativity, problem-solving, and overall efficiency. Working in cycles, such as the Pomodoro technique, where you focus intensely for 25 to 50 minutes and then take a short break, can keep your mind sharp and prevent exhaustion. Another crucial aspect of sustainable productivity is setting boundaries. Many people overwork themselves because they don't know how to say no. They take on too many tasks, respond to emails at all hours, and feel pressured to always be available. But constantly being on leads to mental fatigue and reduced effectiveness. Learning to set clear boundaries, such as designated work hours, no work weekends, and unplugging from digital distractions, allows you to recharge and return with renewed focus. Successful individuals are not the ones who work the longest hours, they are the ones who protect their time and energy. Energy management is just as important as time management. If you've ever struggled through an unproductive work session despite having hours available, you know that time alone isn't the answer, your energy levels matter more. Sustainable productivity means optimizing your physical and mental well-being through proper nutrition, exercise, and mindfulness. Simple habits, like morning workouts, hydration, and daily meditation, can drastically improve focus and prevent burnout. Instead of relying on willpower, structure your environment and habits to support long-term performance. Finally, staying connected to your purpose is essential. When work feels meaningless, exhaustion sets in faster. But when you are driven by a deeper purpose, challenges feel like stepping stones rather than obstacles. Reflect on why you do what you do, celebrate progress, and align your work with your values. Sustainable productivity isn't about working endlessly, it's about working in a way that fuels, rather than drains, your life. Chapter 17, Designing Your Ideal Productive Life. Productivity isn't just about doing more, it's about designing a life that allows you to accomplish what truly matters with less effort and more fulfillment. Many people assume that being productive means packing their schedule with endless tasks, constantly pushing themselves, and sacrificing personal time for professional gains. But real productivity isn't about being busy, it's about being effective. Designing your ideal productive life means building systems, habits, and routines that maximize your energy, creativity, and efficiency while maintaining balance and well-being. When you intentionally structure your days around what truly moves the needle, you achieve more without burnout. The first step in designing a productive life is understanding your priorities. Time is finite, and without clarity on what truly matters, it's easy to get lost in distractions. Ask yourself, what are my top 3 priorities in life? Whether it's career growth, financial freedom, health, relationships, or personal development, defining your priorities will help you filter out unnecessary tasks that drain time without adding real value. The most successful people don't try to do everything, they focus on what matters most. They learn to say no to obligations that don't align with their goals and double down on activities that bring the highest returns. Next, structure your days around peak performance. Everyone has natural energy cycles, known as circadian rhythms, that dictate when they are most alert and focused. Instead of forcing yourself to be productive at all hours, schedule your most demanding tasks during your peak energy periods. If you're a morning person, tackle deep work early in the day. If you're more creative at night, structure your schedule accordingly. This simple shift can dramatically improve output without increasing effort. Additionally, integrating deep work sessions, uninterrupted blocks of time dedicated to high-impact tasks, ensures that you make significant progress without constant distractions. A truly productive life also requires leveraging systems and automation. High achievers don't waste mental energy on repetitive tasks, they create processes that streamline efficiency. Automating bill payments, using productivity apps to organize projects, delegating routine work, and setting up efficient workflows free up time for what truly matters. The goal isn't just to work harder but to create a seamless system where work gets done effortlessly. Productivity expert Tim Ferriss famously advocates for the 80-20 rule, focusing on the 20% of activities that generate 80% of the results. When you design your life around this principle, you cut out unnecessary effort and amplify your success. Equally important is balancing productivity with rest and recovery. Working non-stop leads to burnout, while scheduled breaks, quality sleep, and time for personal interests recharge your mind and body. The most effective people understand that sustainable productivity comes from balance, not overexertion. Incorporating movement, meditation, and hobbies into your routine boosts creativity and long-term focus. Ultimately, designing your ideal productive life is about aligning your daily actions with your biggest goals while maintaining well-being. When you work with intention, structure your time wisely, and eliminate inefficiencies, success becomes effortless. True productivity isn't about doing more, it's about doing what matters most, with purpose and precision. Thanks for listening to Boundless Books Audio, where knowledge fuels transformation. If you found this audiobook valuable, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content that helps you unlock your potential.